Hello, hello. Happy holidays and welcome. Shaking the old martini. We're going to wait for a few people to join us. Hi, everyone. As I said, happy holidays. Welcome to Get Sauced, episode 17, I'm told. Episode 17. Tonight I'm having my usual vodka, and it was been a very full day, so got the old Belvedere out, and I'm having olives today. I know that's exciting, but to me it's really exciting. So welcome, and so happy you could join us. Let's see, I'm going to say this. I hope you all had a really great Thanksgiving, and I know it's a crazy time, but I hope you have a safe and happy holiday season that's coming up. Oh, my guest just joined, so I'm going to start my first guest. So tonight I'm doing something out of the ordinary, and we're having 3 guests, which is something I've never done before. They become a special part of our TheaterWorks family and our holiday favorites. I think you know who it is, but I'm going to wait and give them all a little intro. I hope everyone has their cocktails ready, and I think, or mocktails, and I think we're in for a good time. So let me start by toasting all of you out there. Okay. So, first guest is Randy Harrison. He's been on Christmas. Oh, let me bring him on. I'm also just set up a big drum roll. Hi, everyone. Hey!
Hi.
I feel like I just saw you.
I feel like I see you more right now than I saw you last week or 2 weeks ago.
I know. That's true. It's true. Well, before we chat, you have been,
Yeah.
you're here because we've started streaming Christmas on the Rocks, year 8, and it's streaming, and, Fridays are a member watch party. But this is your 3rd year with the show, right?
Yes.
Your 3rd year, believe it or not. You started in
It is.
2018. And this year, on the stream, we'll see you as Ralphie and Tiny Tim. We decided to do something fun and bring all the guys back. So one of your co-stars is coming on soon. You also bravely stepped into episode 12 of Get Sauce, where we were just really beginning to figure out this streaming content.
Yes, and we were in like the first horrible stages of COVID, I remember.
Yeah, we were. So I'm really happy you're back, and I'm really happy I got to see you. And of course, you are still very recognized for your role as Queer as Folk. So welcome.
Today is apparently the 20th anniversary of the premiere of the first episode of Queer as Folk.
Of Queer as
which
Folk?
I just discovered. Yeah.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah, I didn't even know until I turned onto Instagram to talk to you, and I noticed in someone else's feed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, when we were filming recently, where I was commenting on how you are forever youthful, and we love you for that. And I think that, yeah, I think that those qualities mixed with some of the characters' strangeness is really pays off for you. So, we're in unprecedented times and in the midst of a holiday season. Just in a personal note, how did you start off the holidays? Did you do anything for Thanksgiving? Are you doing anything for the holidays? Are you decorating?
I had a very small Thanksgiving with 4 other people who are sort of in my pod upstate. And Christmas is up in the air. I mean, it looks so bad right now. I might, it seems like the people that I was going to visit, I was going to drive and visit some people. We're playing it by ear. We may cancel the whole thing just because some family members have gotten sick recently, and it just seems like we can't.
Well, one of our board members is, big in the hospitals here in Connecticut, and, we get a lot of inside scoop. But he's also one of my good friends, and he's like, when you think about it, we're almost to we're like, there's a light at the end of the
We're
tunnel,
so close. We're so
and
close. We don't want to like screw it up now.
one holiday season to keep more lives saved is not a too big of a price to pay. So I'm gonna lay
Yeah,
low too.
that's how I feel. But I'm still decorating. I'm getting a Christmas tree this week, which to some people is late and to some people is early. To me, it seems right on time.
It's
We had
really
our
good.
first like sticking snow here yesterday, but it wasn't quite enough to sled. Um,
Oh.
but it'll be my first Christmas tree in my house upstate, so I'm excited to have it.
Make sure you send a picture, and if you'll let us, we'll
Of
share
course.
it.
All right.
You know what I was thinking though? Like I usually travel a lot, and I was like, so
I'm often, I
I
mean,
decorate
I'm in
off and
Hartford.
on. What'd
Yeah.
you say?
Usually I'm in Hartford, so
That's true. And so,
hmm
like, I thought I'm going to decorate because I'll really enjoy it.
hmm
Ironically, usually you decorate and then you're leaving every day. Wow. A lot of people, you bring in you have friends around the world, Randy. It's amazing. So,
And
wait a minute.
I'm
Before I
grateful. And
ask you
hello to
something else, we
everyone.
might as well
Yeah.
say if they want to see your amazing performance, go to
Yes.
twhartford.org and buy a stream to Christmas on the Rocks, and you get to see. Well, I'll let you see it, because we made the decision to make a real specific point of view in the filming. Do you want to share it so I don't have to be all the talk?
Oh yeah, well, I mean, for the vast majority of the scenes, there are just two characters. There's the bartender who's there throughout the show, and then the various characters that come on. But there's usually only two characters at a time. So we decided to shoot from the bartender's point of view. So all the sort of famous Christmas characters that you recognize from their childhood in their adulthood are speaking directly to the camera. And Ted Lang wonderfully is returning to voice the role that he played on stage so well last year.
Yeah, Ted safely filmed the voice of the bartender from LA.
hmm
You all went through testing, and we brought you in all separately. And you had a relationship really with Dan, the cameraman
Dan the
from the Sully
cameraman,
Productions. He was
who was
amazing.
amazing. Shout out to him because he did such a fantastic job.
Shout out to Dan. And it
Yeah,
really, I don't know if you've
it was
watched
like old
it. Well,
times
that's my
playing to a
first
dot
question.
on a
Have you
camera and
watched?
not a human being.
What?
I've watched the first scene. I haven't watched Tiny Tim yet, but I watched Ralphie the other day and I was very happy.
Oh, good. Yeah, that was the
Yeah,
last take we did too, the one that you really like, I think you really felt you
yeah,
wanted us to use.
yeah.
And I think it's really, it turned out to be this thing by filming in that perspective. The audience, because I thought, well, what is going to make people who've seen it for 7 years want to
Hmm,
see it again? And the opportunity is that they get to experience the show from the bartender's point of view. And Ted
exactly.
was so much fun. We did the voiceover, and he played with you from the recordings we did in the theater,
Yeah,
and you all have to deal with me reading his lines.
you did a good job.
um,
We're used to you doing the other
was
lines.
there anything
Yeah.
though that happened that reminded you of like the way we were? Like, did it feel like it was weird, right? You were in and out like for two half days, really.
Yeah, 2 days. I mean, just being there was such a gift. I mean, being on the set again, hearing, and when during the normal run, I get sick to hell of those Christmas songs. But, just having 2 days and hearing the intro music and everything, it was really heartwarming, especially when I watched it again. And honestly, I mean, during COVID, it's been such a difficult time for people who make their living in live theater, and to be able to just return to our medium that we love and to be with the people we love, even though they're out in the dark audience and we all have masks on when we're all 6 feet apart and getting tested every minute and in, different pods, it felt like coming home.
Yeah, and when that set goes out, my shout out to Michael Schweikart, who did the set design. You know, Fun fact for those of you who are watching, Michael is we went to school together like years and years ago. Dear friend, amazing set designer. He designed that set remotely, ironically. He has never seen that set
It's such a
live
good
in
set.
person, and it's 8 years, and it's this old friend. Like the staff always talks about it. In fact, on Instagram on our page, you can see the kind of fast forward footage of the set going up.
Right.
And it's like an old friend. And every year, because it's a beat up, kind of dingy, well loved place, it just gets better and better with age. What
It
did it
does.
feel like kind of coming into your clothes and stepping into the set?
I mean, playing those characters and being in that dressing room, which oddly I don't remember the first one. I remember the first year. Oh yeah, now I do. The first year we didn't have those new dressing rooms. But I mean, doing Christmas on the Rocks has become kind of my Christmas tradition. So it brings me like right back into the holiday spirit to put on those wigs, to smell the spirit gum in my sideburns.
Yeah, and another fun note from people, Matt, who's coming on later, had done it the 3 years before you, and then he had a conflict. Like he was
Right.
coming to do year four, and he got, oh, I think he got the RuPaul show or something.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And he like was like so felt so bad, but it was pretty tight to when we were about to start rehearsals.
Hmm.
And we called you, and you so bravely stepped in. So your first year was like shot out of a cannon, like learning
I
the
had a
lines
week.
and
I had a week, but I definitely seen it once before because obviously I'm friends with Jen and Matt and Harry. So I had seen it. I think I'd definitely seen Harry and Jen do it, and I think I'd gone up and seen Matt and Jen do it too. So I think I'd already seen it twice. So I was familiar with it. But yeah, it was a quick study.
it was, and you were great. And then last year was a little more fun for you,
Hmm.
although even still, like you never had that same thing for 2 years because last year was Ted's first year,
Hmm.
and Ted, there's the anxiety. The bartender's in every scene, so
Yeah,
you had to kind of you were like secure, Jen was secure, and now we had another new person, which
keeps
always
it
makes it
fun.
fun, probably from outside, but inside I know it's like nice. But you were able to kind of come with it with that knowledge, and so it was easier for you. And
Yeah,
here we are. We got to film to stream it, and I love it. I'm glad you had a good response to what you
yeah,
saw.
yeah. I think
Um,
people are gonna love it.
what
It's wonderful.
tell people who are listening because your relation you said we're all friends. You of course all of you are friends, but in particular you, Matt, and Jen. I think oh, New York is Dead. Is that the what you have like this long time friendship? But what is some of the things you've worked on together besides Christmas on the Rocks?
I mean, we first met at the Berkshire Theater Festival in like, I don't know, 15, 12 or 15 years ago. I met Jen when she was doing Heidi Chronicles with my friend Scott Lowell. And then I met Matt and Jen that next year when they were doing a show that Matt wrote. Um, yeah, and we all started hanging out. And then we ended up forming a company together called Quan Company. And we did a bunch of shows in New York and actually in the Berkshires again and at Bard College together. We did for years, I guess over the course of about 5 years. And then, Jen was starring in Silence off Broadway uh, with actually Harry. And I replaced Harry briefly when he went on vacation for a summer. I think that's where I met Harry. I mean, the
It's
theater world is
crazy,
a very,
right?
very small world. Yeah.
The theater is a really small world, and I got to begin to your co-star is waiting in the wings. But I just want to say that in this time, this kind of reset that we're having in the world, and in our country and in our business, I just count
Right.
you among the many gifts I've had. I feel like we've moved to colleagues, to friends, and I value you in my life so much. And not to get too emotional, but it's like a real time to kind of take a look at that. And I just want to say how much I love you and I love working with you. And
Thank you, Rob. I feel the same way. And
yeah.
you and TheaterWorks are a real gift to artists, and we're all grateful. Everybody who's come to work there has been
Oh,
anxious to come back and knows how lucky they are.
we're lucky to have you, and I hope you'll be back many times. And
Of
maybe
course.
we'll see you on Friday if you decide. I don't know
Yeah,
what
I'm
your
gonna
schedule.
try. I'm gonna try.
Join
I
the
think I'll
member
be able to
watch
stop
party.
by
People would
briefly.
love to see you.
Yeah, I think I'll be able to stop by for a few minutes.
Great. All right. I'll talk to you soon.
All
I'm going
right.
on to Jen Harris is coming on,
She's
and
such a
you
bore.
are. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Happy holidays. All I know, I'll
Happy
talk to you soon.
holidays. Bye.
Bye. Okay, I don't want to mess this up. Oh, question. Here we go. Bringing on real Jen Harris. Okay, so Jen needs no introduction, but she's coming on. And she has been the beating heart of Christmas on the Rocks almost since it began.
What's going on?
7 years, girl.
What's going on? Am I on right now?
You are. Can you hear me?
Yeah, oh my God. I am like, I can't see.
I can see you. I can also see green ring lights.
Yeah, I have a green screen. I think it's a little messed up right now. Hold on, I have to fix this. I'm so sorry.
Oh, she left. Jen Harris left me. Well, I'm sure she'll come back on. But while she's finding us again, because that is so her, audiences love her as Zuzu, Karen, Clara, and the little surprise turn as little red-haired girl. And yes, Tanisha's there saying, catch everybody, twhartford.org. But Jen, should I bring Matt on? Should I be spontaneous? Let me see. Oh, there she is. She's there. Matt, hang in. Okay. Let's see if she's coming back on. She's an actress, director, producer. And I am so excited to get to have a little chat with her. She's visiting us from another tech and from Los Angeles, but I don't see her there. Okay. Anyway, Matt, are you there? I'm going to bring Matt on. Sorry, Jen. I'm going to bump Matt on. And then I'll come back to you. Don't you love live Instagram? Matt, I hope you're ready. I hope you're all set. Oh, you're going to thank you for pitching in for Jen.
I didn't know that was happening until it happened.
Well, I don't know what happened, but Jen is trying to get back on. So we're going to look at you. You look, oh, you got a haircut.
Yeah. Jen says that she's coming, but I don't know. Anyway.
Well, you get to be first then.
All right.
I got to go to my notes so I can sing you your praises. So, charming and funny, Matt Wilkes. But you started Christmas on the Rocks from 2015 through 17, 3 years.
Yeah.
And this year you're reviving your amazing Hear Me the Owl.
Yes.
Are you having a root canal?
I'm not. I'm having a protein shake because I just.
Oh. Because you probably came from the gym.
I did.
Well, we all know that work is paying off. And you, you were with that year that you had to like back out and you were devastated quick. Was that AJ and the Queen? Was that what was going on?
Yeah, it was AJ and the Queen. Yeah. Oh wait, was it? Yeah, it was AJ and the Queen.
Yeah, you were ready to come, and you were in LA doing stuff, and then this RuPaul project came up. So, how did that go? All right? First, how did it go? But then I'm going to ask about RuPaul. So go ahead.
It was very cool because it was like there were so many aspects of it that were really cool. But it was shot on the Warner Brothers lot almost in its entirety, so that was very exciting just to be on that lot for 9 months basically. And RuPaul was incredible to work with, and then there were so many cool guest stars and stuff throughout the whole season. So I mean, my part was small, but I was sort of just kept on constantly throughout, and so it was an opportunity to kind of like live in LA, work on that show as a part-time job really, because to fly back and forth between New York and LA would have been a little bit stupid. So
you I mean, he's a legend, and like I am one of the many Drag Race fans. But is he as like fun and like as you would hope he would be in real life?
Yeah, and also he's a really talented actor kind of surprised me, I guess. I didn't know. I mean, that sounds like an insult to him, but I think it's more just because I hadn't really gotten the opportunity. I know he was on Two Broke Girls, and I never watched Two Broke Girls when he was on it, so I missed that performance. But he was just really, really good performer. And I should say I was only in 2 scenes with him in the entire season, so most of my time spent with him was at table reads, where I would get to see him read the whole, script, and that's when I really got to talk to him or hang out with him beyond.
You hear that a lot. You hear that these celebrities really and these stars, and and he always you say that he comes off as like kind of fun and frivolous and campy and like, but usually when you really know these people, they're like these brilliant minds who are like really aware of everything that's going on around them, and that's what makes it all work. And my guess is that is him.
So look, he was balancing so many things. I think that he literally left the shoot to go shoot London UK drag race, and he was also balancing having his talk show happen all at the same time, producing, being in the writer's room for our show, and then acting in it. So it just was I felt like a lot of, if he ever seemed like he was like, I can't be social right now, I think it was just because he was very, very busy. So
yeah, well, it's great. Like, it'll be for your memoirs. Yeah. But I want to talk about, I have to talk about Watch What Happens Live.
Oh.
And your appearance on there with Dan. Well, I let you talk about Matt and Dan because I watch your Instagram films all the time, because you just make me, you don't even know this probably. I've texted you a couple of times because we haven't really talked about it. Great, but those little films, web series that you do, I think are hysterical. But you had this, like, played a bartender of sorts, right?
I mean, he has Andy Cohen has guest bartenders all the time to promote whatever they're doing. I've done it 3 times now, actually. The first time I did it was for Gaby, which I was in with Jen, and then that was like 10 years ago. And then a couple years ago, I did it with Daniel, where I pinned my mic to my nipple. Is that what you're referring to?
No, you pinned yours to your chest hair, and he pinned his to his nipple. It's very famous clip.
Yeah.
Was that fun? Do you have any recommendations for Christmas on the Rocks based on those appearances?
Do I have any recommendations? What do you mean?
I mean, being a bartender that's shirtless with a...
Do you mean to drink? Oh.
No, I mean for Christmas on the Rocks, but I'm just teasing you, really. But I want to talk about Christmas on the Rocks. So now 3 years, and every one of you have made... I mean, how exciting to have you and Harry and Randy all there for the streaming version. And you did it, though, all the roles for 3 years.
Yes.
And then, work pulled you away. Do you miss doing them all? And what was it like to do Hermie after 3 years?
Well, first of all, I have to say, I haven't worked since February. In February, I wrapped the 2nd season of that show Bonding that I'm in on Netflix, which also, FYI, go watch Bonding on Netflix. Season 2 is coming soon.
Bonding on Netflix.
Where I play a slave to a dominatrix, and I'm half naked in that too. It's yay, so fun. But anyway, I was so sort of shook by how emotional it was to work again, since I haven't worked since February. And I like when we wrapped shooting Hermie that day, I privately had like a little bit of a teary moment about it, because it was so I was so grateful to work again. Of course I realized I hadn't worked in a long time and I missed it a lot, but I don't think I realized just how much I missed it and how valuable it was to me. And I also just want to say thank you to you and to TheaterWorks for giving us that. I know Jen and Randy, and I assume Harry, I haven't spoken to him, all feel the same way. It was great to do. I love playing Hermie. I often worry that people will look at Hermie and think I'm making fun of you know, making fun of him, but I hope they know that I love him very much, and that's all done with like pure joy and a love for the character. Um,
I think it's, you know, I think it's clear. And you know, every one of you brought unique things, but I would say you were the first to physicalize and, you know, him as we did live in the theater. And I
uh-huh.
think that one of the great discoveries, you know, we kind of started, you know, Harry was the first one who created him, and it was much more story centric and still very flamboyant, but less physical.
Yeah.
Yours, I think, was where you kind of broke into that physicality. And ironically, for the film, we had to pull that back
Yeah.
because there was no physical bartender. You worked with the camera, and I think something really special happened. Did it feel like in a weird way we get to experience also the plays and the stories differently by being on film?
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, yeah, it felt different, but I can't say I can compare it very easily because it's been so long since I've done it. I think I just was going with my instinct for being so close to the camera and having a camera there. Your gut instinct is to just like be a
Pull it
little
in, right?
smaller. So I was just going with that. But it had been so long since I'd done it for the stage. I always like, you know, the note that I always hate from a director is you have to be louder. But I know that it's a necessary note. And I think like when I'm in a theater and I'm given that note, and I'm sure you gave it to me, although I don't remember, but like, oh, and you just get bigger because of it. And also, you know, that everyone's farther away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But interestingly enough, you know, I was worried a little bit about that, and we made different choices for each character. You know, oh, let's just tell people, say, like you wrote one of the pieces that you're not in.
Oh, that's right.
You
Yeah.
and Jen wrote My Name is Karen.
Yes.
And, you know, she is like the stakes are really high and very physical. And Jen was like, she's going to be so happy. I don't know if she's watched it yet. I think she has. Well, we'll ask her. But you know, that was one that was hard to pull back because of the stakes there. And I was, you know, when we were filming, I'm like, how's this going to translate? And it translates beautifully.
Oh,
So it really showed me that the kind of zany, outrageous vividness of them
yeah.
does play.
Cool. Yeah, I have to tell you, I haven't watched it yet. So
That was my next question.
excited to see, and excited to see how that works across the board too. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're going to be happy, but I want to shift. Two things. Holiday season. What are you doing?
Well,
Laying low, or
I'm not a very big fan of the holidays. I just
so that's why you liked doing Christmas on the Rocks, because you could just go perform every day.
not to get dark about it, but like I lost my father when I was young, and like I feel like for whatever reason holidays just have like a pressure to be happy that I've never been prepared for. So I kind of think that it's not the best time of year for me. So I actually am excited to maybe kind of like not celebrate it a little bit.
Oh, well, I hear that. You know, like you know, holidays are real bittersweet. There's always a lot of joy and a lot of fun. Kids are great around the holidays, but you know, there's also other things that have happened in holiday seasons. Like I lost my grandfather, you know, and you know, also years ago in the holiday season, it's always there, right? It's always there.
And everyone, and all the other families are sort of, there's always you compare your experience with other people's, and at least, sorry to interrupt your story, but I just meant to say, at least we are all sort of unified, at least for the most part, in that we aren't necessarily able to celebrate it the way we normally would be this time. So I feel like less jealous, or that's the word, jealous.
And there's different, I think people are experiencing differently. Like I have two close friends, like two of my best friends, and they're like the most wonderful, the most generous couple. And they are always doing things like for other people, and always having parties, and they're now, oh, Jen's, oh my God, I'm going to request you, Jen, in a minute.
Oh,
all right. I don't see a request from you. So hang in there. And we'll, that they're like, oh my God, this year it's just the two of us, and we don't have to like do all this work and we can experience the holidays more intimately and more quietly. And they're excited about that. That's an opportunity they haven't had. So before we move over to one of your BFFs who's hopefully waiting in the wings.
I know. I hope if she doesn't, I'll come back. So
okay, don't go. I was just going to say, because we have a little more show to finish, but we're going to try. But tell me, you have a very special relationship with Jen Harris. I mean, Gaby has come up already. New York is dead. But you guys, I don't know, she'll kill me, but you have tattoo. Yeah, what is that?
The year
1996? What does that mean?
It's the year that Jen and I were born.
Oh, she's gonna hate you for that.
Wait.
But you both have the same tattoo, which says a lot about friendship.
She has it on this hand, I have it on this hand, so that we can go like this. Yeah, we met in college, before college actually, and we just knew we were kindred spirits from the very beginning, and yeah, I don't know, we're she's my sister and I love her to death. Gaby was written for us, so like if you ever watch Gaby, a lot of the sort of like minor details of that film are kind of based on our real selves.
I love Gaby. I really do. Maybe I keep thinking maybe because I know you two, but I've watched it again, and it's a really great flick. Like I love it. I love it. It's very real. Oh, she's so in awe. But so here's the fun question: were you guys really naked in bed in Gaby or not?
No. I don't remember. We did two film. What the first version of Gaby was a short, and like I weirdly, vaguely, Jen in the comments, maybe you could say, remember Jen taking her actual underwear off in the short in the bed.
Wow. Well, you know what's great about, I was just, again, teasing you, but the comfort level that you guys have in real life together in that film, life and art, you can feel that synergy, and that's what makes it so awesome, really. And that's what makes Christmas on the Rocks fun, like with you and Jen and Matt and Harry. That fact that you're friends in real life, you feel that synergy, and I think that's helped the show. So I'm going to see if I can get Jen on. So don't go away, but
right.
If in case you don't come back, I want to also say to you, and I'm like, oh, she said something about her underwear.
That's what I thought. Yeah, she forgot to wear. Oh my God, that's hilarious.
What did she say?
She said in the short version, she had forgotten to wear underwear. So when she takes her pants off in the short, she's
that's real friends in the buff. But listen, you also, I know that you are a very private person in real life, and as kind of open and wild, like, and fun, and you are in your art. There's a shyness and a sweetness that I really value, and I think it's really sweet. But I think you're an amazing talent. I'm not just doing this, but it's like a year you've cataloged these things, and I so value our friendship and our relationship as artists and friends, and I just want you to know that, and thank you for coming on.
I feel the same way, Rob. I love you, and I am so grateful to Hartford Theater Works and my time there, and I just want to keep working there. So you guys are
well, you'll keep getting asked. I hope we see you Friday for the watch party. I know that people would love an opportunity to like commune with you. And did you watch yet before I let you go?
No, I told you I haven't watched.
You good? Maybe you should wait till Friday.
Okay, yeah, that's a good plan.
All right. I'm gonna try this.
Okay.
Don't go away. So I'm left. I love you.
Love you.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Okay, I'm removing Matt. All right. Let's see if this will work. Oh, I think she's there. Okay. Fingers crossed.
Oh my fucking God. Excuse my language, kids.
You just wanted to be the finale.
I'm wearing merch.
Yes.
Merch. But yeah, I've got like bad light now. But
no, you have good light. You look good.
Hi.
You look good. Hey.
Hi. Okay, number one. Let's clear this up. in Gaby in the short when
Okay.
we were shooting it. First of all, that's the first thing that you talk about our piece of artwork is were you guys
No,
making
the
that?
first thing I said was how much I loved it.
That is true. You did. No, what happened was Johnny Lasecki, who directed it, was like, oh my God, this light's so bad in my glasses. Johnny Lasecki, who directed it,
You
was
look
like,
great.
oh, can you like take your underwear off and like go like this? And, you know, cause we're like this, take it off and just go like this and, you know, show that like you took your underwear off because that's what you would do. So I did, but I was like, oh, I don't have underwear under this underwear. So I did what we needed to do, but like I wasn't planning on, we had a plan that I would be doing that. So I didn't need to, and you know, this was the short, you're providing your own costume, you're doing everything yourself. So I hadn't brought an extra pair. So I was like, Matt, what? But you know, like, it's not like.
You are like, all right, I'll
It's not-
just jump to, and you can explain this. I mean, recently you were in my bathtub.
I was. Oh, and there were some people in the comments. Thank you. My hair is good, girl. Yes.
Why were you in my bathtub? Because I haven't talked about this with anyone else.
Oh, so if you watch Christmas on the, here's our tattoos. If you watch Christmas on the Rocks, our video version, our filmed version, yay, my niece is here. Sorry, I love my niece. My niece, Margaret 06. Yes, queen. If you stick to the end and
wait,
please
oh my
stay,
God, Aleo said that's what happens when there's no costume designer.
well, honey, what do you think? How do you think filmmaking works with this? And when you don't got this, you got to get it.
No,
done.
you had no clothes to wear, so you got into the bathroom.
Okay, I got 8 things to say. So first of all, if you stay to the end, which you must, we have
the end of the credits, to be clear.
Am I gonna talk?
Yeah, I'm gonna be quiet.
If
The end of the credits.
The end, past the credits, we have a wonderful about 15 minutes in total. The characters in quarantine, and I wrote a couple of them. Randy wrote one. Jacques wrote 2. And we have Eddie Edwin Sanchez wrote one, and then Hermes was written by Jeffrey. And we see the characters in quarantine. And so we wrote these little about 2-minute pieces, these shorts where we get to see the characters and how they're handling lockdown. And they're so fun and they're so cute. Oh, thank you. I've been thanking some people there have been some people in the comments who've been giving a lot of love to the quarantine pieces. So don't turn off your computers. And I hope we're going to tell people heavily remind people, because credits come and people don't like stick around for a blooper reel. So
we made a few changes today, a few corrections and things.
Cool.
And one of the things we did at the very beginning, we added big text that says, stay through the credits for a special Christmas surprise or something like that.
Yay! And you were very kind. You had talked to me about it. You're like,
you directed them.
Yes, and we had talked about film. You're like, we're going to film Christmas on the Rocks. And I was like, that's amazing. Thank you. And I echo Randy saying thank you for being one of the few theaters who pushed and figured out a way to support artists and figure out how to have us work during this time. And it is a push, and it requires a lot with COVID standards and unions. And we are in utter gratitude that you made that happen for a lot of people this year. So thank you. But you said, well, what if we wrote like these little like shorts of what the characters are doing in quarantine right now? And I was like, brilliant idea. And so I wrote a couple. We all like got together and wrote them, and then you let me direct them, which thank you so much.
Thank
which,
you.
Makes me so happy. That was really fun. It was really fun.
So there are seven. We call it Christmas on the Rocks, the Quarantine Edition.
Quarantine Edition.
They're so fun, Jen. And they're really all like different, and they're all really filmed also by the actors themselves with the phones.
Yeah. We did a lot of filming, a lot of first person, I was filming a couple. I think the only one that we actually set up was the one in your bathtub for Clara. but it's great. It's so fun. It's just so fun. And then, yeah, Randy, I followed him. Matt had the camera himself.
Right.
Me and Harry Boovy for Charlie Brown. We were both in the housing because, you know, COVID. And it was also thinking of these creative ways of like how we can film still under these restrictions with COVID and staying safe. So Harry was in his housing and I was in mine, our units, and we did a Zoom. And we recorded, so it was like a FaceTime call next to each other. It was really fun.
It's really sweet. You know, it's interesting looking back at them, how they parallel. I guess, because all the original playwrights didn't write them, but we all know them now. Mm-hmm. And Charlie Brown is last. And it's so sweet, and it has such a heart to it, and as it does in the show, you know?
Yeah, it's really fun.
But I have to say, you did an awesome job. And you were like, it was so clear that you're a director and a producer. Because you were like, I was like, yeah, we got to do these, and focusing on the show itself, when you're like sending prop lists and,
yeah.
and links and
I know. I was like, I did. I was like, here's the prop list. Here's what we're doing. I was sending Kate, our stage manager, and CC assistant, that we were sending, okay, here's the scripts. Okay, here's what we need. And they were, of course, so amazing. Like, what do you need? And I was sending you like prop lists, like, I need all of this. And you're like, do you need all of those stuffed animals? For Randy's, for the first one, which is Ralphie, who is, you know, in a recovery meeting for stuffed animals. Well, you'll watch it.
Watch it. But don't give it all away. But I will say, you know, we were like, I love them at the end, because if you watch the show, and there's a couple of other surprises, like I'll just say the curtain call or the actor credits at the end are another surprise that nobody really will expect. And Ted does the welcome. Ted Lange does the introduction, and he was so sweet. He loved you all. I mean, he only really knows you and Randy live, but
he did so great. I was actually really, I wasn't concerned, but I was interested in how we were going to do that. How you guys were going to put his voice over. Or insert it in the show, and I thought it just worked great.
Oh, yeah.
I'm seeing my friend Wayne is here. Oh my God, and Betsy, hi! Oh my God, COVID is. I haven't seen my girl in so long.
But we also get to see your camera work, because, you know, for Karen, in the theater, we watched it live, and then you used to appear when you go Instagram Live. Spoiler alert, I don't care. Would come up on the screens. And then we filmed you from the bartender's perspective, but really 80 to 85% of the stream shows your camera work. And what I realized when watching it is I love that in the theater you had to choose to watch you on stage or to watch you in the stream. We get to make that choice, and your really fun, creative cinematography is featured in there. So
my cinematography. I'll tell you one thing. Like two points on that. One, like doing the show. This essentially being my 7th year doing the show, I kind of have it down. Like it kind of is. At this point, you kind of have it down. But also, like, just having to like be a writer, director, producer, cinematographer, costume. I mean, that's out of necessity, you know, like kind of like book a television show.
Yeah, but I do want to ask you this.
I'd just be an actor. But
you wrote Karen, and she was the first one we filmed, I think. Yeah, you wrote Karen, but interestingly enough, to share a little bit of inside scoop, Clara is the only piece that was done in one take.
Yeah.
One take, Karen.
And we checked with each other too, because we said, "Are we all just tired?"
We did.
Do we just want to leave? Because it was the last day of the shoot. It was the 4th day, and it was the very last thing before we broke. And then you and I went and shot Claire in the bathtub.
And we were like, "Should we start? Should we not start? Oh, I'm tired." And you kind of like pulled your bootstraps up. I don't know what you did, but you willed something, and you came out. We were like, "This is good. This is good. This is good."
I did say to Cece backstage, I was like, watch me do this in one take. I'm gonna do this in one take. But here's the thing, and yes, that's true. I did, but we did because Dan, who was operating the camera, there's no way I could have, he had to nail it as well. Because
Yeah,
everything
Dan,
that Dan was doing was incredible.
I just want to give a shout out, to the creative team while we're talking about it. I mentioned
Please.
Michael Schweikart on the set. Alejo Vietti, who's watching. Alejo, I don't know if you watched it yet, but his costumes are
Amazing.
freaking amazing. The way that he was able to capture these characters and interpolate them into human forms. John Lasseter's lighting.
I've been wearing those costumes for 7 years.
Oh yeah, we shouldn't tell him that Clara's nightgown.
I think Clara's done. I'm really sorry to say I don't know if Clara has another year in her. Sorry.
Oh, he said he loved it. But Alejo, we have to rebuild Clara's nightgown, just so you know. Yeah. It's a given.
Good luck.
It's done. It's
Clara's
retired.
done.
I'm sending it to Jen to have a piece of scrap of it.
We can
John
all make
Lasseter's lighting. John Lasseter's lighting, and he was present with us. Oh, Jen can do no wrong. John Lasseter's lighting, beautiful. And Mike Maselli Productions did the amazing filming of it. But Mike also is the sound designer. And let's talk about Mark Adam Rampmeyer, who was with us the whole time. The hair is amazing.
He is truly, I mean, I've worked with a lot of people in the theater with wigs, and he is truly it's, you know what, there's something to, I mean, a lot of people are talented. I'll say this for anyone, but a lot of people are talented. A lot of people can do great things, and a lot of people are good people. But when you have, especially when you have someone in this business in theater, and then as a designer who actually cares so much, like he stayed around for the COVID pieces, because we would shoot one of the plays, like we would shoot something, and then we would go and people would be done, and then me and the other actor or me would go and then shoot one of the COVID pieces, and he would stay around to redo the wig, make sure the wigs are right, redo them, alter them in some way. He'd be like, okay, well, what are they wearing for the COVID piece? Like just like I love when like little things still matter, you know?
I hope he's watching, because, it's been hard on everyone, and one of the things I keep hearing from director, designers, actors, my staff, I have to give a shout out to, and you mentioned Cece, who is like, this little unsung hero, Kate, who keeps the train, and Ruben, the production people who got it up so quickly and down so quickly.
They're so amazing.
The box office, trying to navigate memberships, and, I could go on and on, marketing with like an unreasonable amount of material to get out.
Right.
The artistic team who's like producing and helping and supporting me.
And I have to give a shout out to Eric, who helped me clean out that, I don't know, that like pump room, that sump pump room for Karen COVID. We both, like, I broke a nail and a finger, and he like cut his hand as we were like cleaning out old tiles from this sump pump room. It was disgusting. And I was like, I need this room. And he's like, all right, let's go.
But like Mark, like in some way we all needed it. We all needed to create theater, and that was happening. But I didn't really anticipate, as we finish up, because we're getting to time, but like the kind of gift of Christmas on the Rocks, like I said earlier at the top of the show, it's an old friend. But as much as you all have expressed how much it meant to be creating in a time where people are so afraid, and you flew from LA, and we had to watch San Diego. You flew from San Diego, and we watching like the states and their status and the testing, and everyone's been so grateful. But you and I go back a long time now, and I've said to everybody, I'm going to try not to cry after my martini, but you are a brilliant, caring, passionate, You are like, I mean, I've never seen anybody be as passionate about the details of these COVID
Oh,
shorts. But, you know, the gift of Jen Harris to me and to TheaterWorks Hartford is huge. And, you know, you're not going away. As I said at the beginning, you need no introduction. You are embedded here, and I love you so much. And
oh,
I
you're
thank
so
you.
sweet. I love you so much. I love theater.
You're the swag
so
queen.
much. What?
You're the swag queen. And if Michael
Well, I will
McKiernan is
sell.
watching, I sent him those pictures. We got to use those photo shoot pictures, Michael McKiernan. Your swag
I'm telling
photos.
you, I know I took, because I'm like, I want to sell the swag because you have really good swag. Get it on your website so everyone can buy it.
All right.
But, so I put on like the sweat outfit, and I went up to, in San Diego, we have beautiful, beautiful views every single day, everywhere. And I went to Sunset Cliffs, which is on the beach. It's gorgeous. And I did a whole photo shoot with the sweatpants on the beach. On the
They're
cliffs.
really good shots, and I'll share some too. And, you know, part of your contract is now every piece of swag that we could pause. I thought you couldn't have any more swag, and you're like, can I have one of those
No.
other hats?
I don't have that. I have one hat, but I didn't have the other kind of hat. And I didn't have it. I needed both kinds of hats.
All right.
And also, that's funny because I'm doing a show plug here in San Diego, a Christmas show at the Diversionary Theater. You can look, tickets are got to be live, and there's a link in my bio. But I told them, I'm like, I was joking, but I wasn't. I was like, in my contract, I need swag. I was like, I need swag. And so then when I went to go pick up some Christmas stuff at the theater, I had a little box waiting for me that they presented with like the mug and the shirt and the puzzle and this and that. And I was like, that's right. I need the swag. I'm like, but I will sell your swag. Get it on your website.
Yes. twhartford.org. Thank you for being here. And I'm glad it worked out. You look great. Matt, you guys switched around. It just shows the magic of comfort and the magic of people you love and trust. And it was a great night.
Yay.
I love you. Happy. You're going to be there Friday? Please say you're going to be there Friday.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you Friday. Take care.
Love you.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Happy holidays.
All right. That's Get Sauced, episode 17. I hope I'm remembering it. My notes are gone. From all of us at TheaterWorks Hartford, to all of you out there, we wish you a very, very safe and merry holiday season and a happy new year. And let's hope that for all of us, 2021 is an extraordinary year. To your health, take care. Bye.